Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at the smackdown we put on gold this morning. This is our 30-minute chart. I put our gravity lines on so that we could see them because these happen to be important to our trade for the day today. You can see that we were initially just kind of moving sideways. Actually started to make a little push to the upside right here in gold. This bar opened down here, closed up here. In fact, we had two really bullish bars in a row. This bar opened at the bottom, closed at the top. This one opened at the bottom, closed at the top. But then we got just the opposite. This bar opened at the top, closed at the bottom, and it was an inside bar, followed by another really bearish bar. This bar opened at the top, closed not at the bottom, actually left a little bit of a bottoming tail, but the entire body of this bar was all selling. This bar also caused the 5 and the 13 EMA to cross to the downside. We consolidated sideways, put in this doji right here. Again, 5 crossed to the downside on 13, so 5 and 13 in a sell. The 50 EMA below the 200 EMA, price below all of it, set up a doji, which also set up our bear flag, and then this bar triggered it to the downside. So we had, everything was saying get short at this point. Again, very bearish bar, open at the top, close at the bottom, open at the top, close, not at the bottom, but definitely a bearish bar to the downside. Consolidated, set up the bear flag, and then the next bar triggered it. This bar actually triggered underneath 1568.80. The entry was actually 1568.60. And because of the volatility that we've been having in the marketplace recently, I decided to just trade the 30-minute chart. The Unirenko chart is a great chart to trade, but the volatility just really makes it whippy, and those bars just fly all over the place. So we're trading the 30-minute chart, and the way we trade the 30-minute chart is this bar caused the 5 and the 13 to cross to the downside, so we're looking for a short either below the low of that bar, or in this case we actually set up the bear flag, so we're looking for a trigger of the bear flag, and then we just do a 1 bar trailing stop. Now when we do this, our stops are large, and actually only traded this with 1 contract for that very reason, but we just trail the bars. So we entered, stop goes a couple ticks above this bar right here, and then we just start trailing. We trail a few ticks above each bar, and each bar all the way down. This bar came close, made a pretty decent pullback, but the high of this bar was 1568.30. The high of this bar was 1567.90, so didn't quite go all the way up there, so didn't have to take any real heat. Did make a little bit of a pullback, but no real heat. And then bam, down we went. And then we just started trailing bars. Pushed down, made a little pullback, right there at one of our gravity lines, significant areas of support and resistance. Pushed down, tried to stay above it. This bar opened up, continued to push lower. When this bar closes, our stop moves down to a couple ticks above this bar. And then this next bar pushed all the way down into our target area. Now, my target area was down here at 1516.20. Actually took it off at 1516.60 for an even $52 or 520 ticks to the downside. As you can see, actually continued to push a little bit lower, but from the very beginning of this trade, I had a downside target in mind, and when we got there, I went ahead and pulled it off. And again, pushed down a little bit further, it touched significantly undervalued, pulled back, and then kind of just chopped sideways with a little bit of a bearish bias, but chopped sideways the rest of the day. But nice initial push down in gold early today.